Georgia football just got great news as one player returns to the program and multiple Bulldogs are getting national recognition ahead of the 2026 college football season, and we got to break it all down. What's up, guys? I'm Matt Long. Welcome to Georgia Football 365. If you are a Georgia Bulldogs fan, please hit that subscribe button. Only 10.2% of viewers are subscribed to the channel, and it really helps me out a ton. But let's jump right into what we got for today, because we got a big time update as Cole Speer, former Bulldog, returns to the program. Coming from Dogs 24/7, Dogs 24/7 has just confirmed that wide receiver Cole Speer is rejoining the Bulldogs for the 2026 season and that he is back at practice with the team. Speer is taking advantage of a recent ruling that class of 2022 recruits have an additional year of eligibility with their respective colleges. So, the Georgia Bulldogs get a bit of a boost from a source that we were not expecting. Now, Cole Speer is not, I'm not going to sit here and act like he's going to come in and immediately be the next Zachariah Branch. I'm not going to say he's going to come in here and be a super huge game changer. In fact, Cole Speer is probably going to make less of a difference in the wide receiver room and more of a difference on punt returns as a special teamer, and not even as the punt returner, just on special teams. But what I like about bringing Cole Speer back is you bring back experience, you bring back age. Look at the college football playoffs last year. The champions, Indiana, they get made fun of a lot for being an older team, but that's what wins college football games. In fact, the stat that a lot of people like to leave out is the fact that Miami's average age was actually older than the Indiana Hoosiers. And so what does that tell you? Age wins college football games, especially when you are in an era where, because of NIL, players are playing longer. There's no longer that, get out of college football and get to the NFL to make some money as fast as possible. You can make NIL money, make really good money playing college football, continue to develop, and you can play against some guys that are likely less athletically developed as you are if you're an older player, and other stuff like that. So just another small thing that can give the Bulldogs an advantage over anyone that we may end up matching up against. Cole Speer was a 3-star recruit. He was ranked a top 75 recruit in the class of 2022 and was a top 50 player in the state of Georgia. So now Cole Speer back with the Georgia Bulldogs. Happy to have him back at practice. We'll see if he's going to be able to make a difference this year on special teams or on offense. Now, next update here. We have the all SEC teams were just released with a bunch of Bulldogs all over it. We're going to start off with the first team Georgia Bulldog players, starting off with 2 offensive linemen in Ernest Green and Drew Bobo. Very happy to have a mostly healthy Drew Bobo back. He's going to be commanding the Georgia Bulldogs offensive line from the center position. Love to have him back. Add on to that more players who were voted as first team all SEC players: KJ Bolden and Ellis Robinson. A bunch of Bulldogs ready to make a difference this upcoming season. On to the second team: Nate Frazier, Lawson Luckie, Dontrell Glover, Elijah Griffin, and Raylan Wilson. Now, the 2 names that probably stand out to the most people are Nate Frazier and Lawson Luckie. Lawson Luckie is going to be the Georgia starting tight end this upcoming season. We have had fantastic tight end play over the past decade, even going back longer than that. Lawson Luckie, however, doesn't get a ton of hype. Last year, Oscar Delp got a lot of love going into the year from NFL scouts, from really just the general public, in a way that Lawson Luckie doesn't have the same kind of hype. And maybe it's because we get further away from Brock Bowers, so more casual fans don't look as hard at the next Georgia tight end because they're not looking for the, quote, next Bowers anymore. So Lawson Luckie is a very underrated tight end. Glad to see that the coaches in the SEC smart enough to vote him to the all SEC team here, because he is someone who certainly deserves that recognition. Luckie is a threat both as a pass catcher and as a run blocker as well. Very excited to see him on the second team here. Speaking of running the ball, Nate Frazier projects to be the heart of the Georgia Bulldogs rushing attack as our starting running back going into next year. Gonna be set for a big year on the ground, as Georgia always is, and Nate Frazier is going to have to be the guy who steps up and makes a difference. We know there are some other young backs who are just chomping at the bit, ready for their opportunity to be that guy in the Georgia running back room. So Nate Frazier is going to have to hold some players off. We're going to see if he is able to, be maybe even the best running back in the SEC. Kawan Lacey, you have to imagine, is going to be the first team all SEC preseason running back. He's a very good runner, but Nate Frazier, certainly behind our offensive line, Nate Frazier capable of taking away that designation from Lacey as the best running back in the SEC. Now, on to the third team. This is where we find Gunner Stockton. The first team quarterback is Trinidad Chambliss from Ole Miss, which I think I agree with. The second team quarterback is Arch Manning from Texas. I think we agree with that too. Gunner Stockton filling in here as the third best quarterback according to these coaches in the SEC. I think I can agree with that. Gunner Stockton, we know he doesn't have the throwing talents that some of those other quarterbacks have, but what Gunner Stockton is he's really a perfect fit for the Georgia offense. He is the best option quarterback in college football, and he adds a lot more through the passing game than a lot of fans would like to give him credit for. Gunner Stockton really is a great fit for the Georgia Bulldogs offense specifically, and we are, of course, always hyped to have our guy. We're going to be rooting hard for Gunner Stockton this year. It's going to be tough for him to work his way up the boards past Trinidad Chambliss and past Arch Manning, because those are two guys with just an unbelievable amount of hype in terms of what they're projected to do this upcoming year for college football and what they're supposed to do in the NFL. We just watched Chambliss make unbelievable plays in the Sugar Bowl. This year, we need that to go the other way. We need Gunner Stockton to step up and make big plays when his number is called. We know he is always willing to take a hit for the program, all the way dating back to the SEC championship game versus Texas from a couple of years ago, where he just got absolutely crushed. Then you fast forward to the Sugar Bowl, got hit over and over and over again in those games. Gunner Stockton, you always know he's going to get back up from that big hit, always going to be ready to lead this Georgia Bulldog offense. Now, on to our final update that we have for this video. We have a visit scheduled here. Xander Edwards is going to be visiting for Clean Old Fashioned Hate, or whatever it's called now. Just the people love trying to monetize college football and make the most money that they possibly can out of it, and we unfortunately just have to live with it. But the visitor that we have is Xander Edwards, 6'1", 210-pound running back out of Jacksonville, Florida. The home state for Edwards is a problem here. As we can see, the 24/7 crystal ball prediction has him as a University of Miami lean. Edwards is graded as a 4-star recruit, ranked just outside the top 100. The composite 24/7 sports grade, which is essentially the consensus grade, has him as the 113th best player in the country, listed as a 4-star recruit, listed as the 7th running back and 15th best player in the state of Florida. We should be beating Georgia Tech. Let's go put on a good show for Xander Edwards. Show him the campus, and then win a football game that weekend. That's what I got for this video. If you stuck around this long, I appreciate you taking the time to watch the video all the way through. Please hit that like button if you haven't already. Hit the subscribe button if you're new to the channel. Go Dogs!